In this video, you're going to see how to edit boundary relations in OpenStreetMap. So when you have two entities, such as two cities, that share a common boundary, that line will be represented once or by one piece of geometry in OpenStreetMap. And this is an advantage if you want to ensure that you don't have any overlaps or contested territory or no man's land, when in reality that is not the case. And you should do a little research to ensure that that is not the case. And I have done that here by speaking to the GIS manager of one of the cities involved. So this is the JASM OpenStreetMap editor. I have the OpenStreetMap Carto layer as backdrop. We are in the United States, in the state of Colorado, and up in this area is Castle Pines, the city of, and down here's the city of Castle Rock. And from this location along the stair step down to this location on Crowfoot Valley Road, they share a common boundary. So let's get started by downloading some data. Okay, there we go. Castle Rock, Castle Pines. As we already have some boundary relations, and when you are working with relations, always a good idea to download all the members. So right-click, download incomplete members, and do the same thing for Castle Rock. All right, so we've got a lot going on here, and that can kind of get confusing. So to kind of simplify things, I'm going to create a filter, and this say boundary equals and boundary equals administrative. All right. Now, normally when you create a filter, it seems kind of logical. It filters out what you specify. So we just filtered out the boundaries. And what we want to do is invert that. So we filter out everything but the boundaries. So in the filter panel, there's a little column with an eye on the top. I'm going to click that. So that inverts it. And then we want to completely hide, not just black out, but completely hide non-boundaries. Okay, there we go. So we got Castle Pines, Castle Rock, and nothing else. So the general idea here is we're going to split this way that's part of the Castle Rock boundary. And we're going to do the same thing with this way that's part of the Castle Pines boundary. We're going to delete one of them. Let's delete the one from Castle Rock. And then we will add the remaining way to the relation for Castle Rock. All right, so we're going to split this way. We select the node, and because the node is a member of at least two ways, we have to select the way. So shift click and P for part. Now it's going to ask us which of the resulting ways we want to have the history, and this is correct. We don't want to put the history on what we're eventually going to delete anyway. So click OK. Let's pan and zoom down into the other area. Select the node, shift click to select the way, P for part. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is hold down. I'm going to use the mouse wheel to click and hold Control, and then make sure that I select the right piece of geometry here. So we want this one that's was part of Castle Rock. And let me try that again. There we go. And so indeed this says that this, what we've selected is a member of the Castle Rock boundary relation. We're going to delete that. And it's going to give us a little heads up that, yeah, you're messing with the relation. Are you sure you want to do this? Like, okay. All right, now we're going to do the same thing with the way that represents the boundary of Castle Pines, except we're not going to delete it. And shift click, so I've selected both the node and the way, P for part. You must select 2 or more nodes to split a circular way. So in this case, the way closes on itself. It makes a complete ring. So I'm going to zoom and pan up this other location again and shift click. So now we have 2 nodes selected, P for part. Again, it's asking us the history question, and that's the right answer. A larger one is usually a good idea. Okay, so now we need to take this way that's a member of Castle Pines and also make it a member of Castle Rock. So here we have the Castle Rock boundary relation. In the Relations panel, click the little Edit button. Looks like a piece of paper and a pencil. This is the way that we had selected, and here's all the other ways that are members. So we just click the little arrow to add it, and we have to give it a role. It's either outer or inner. So you know that particularly city boundaries can have a lot of enclaves. So sometimes you have inner. Here's some examples. But in this case, it's part of the outer boundary. And now we're going to make sure the order is optimal. And you know that gives you this little symbology here that it makes a complete ring in order. So that's what we want. We click OK. Now we can test our work. If we just select this way, it tells us that that is a member of Castle Pines and Castle Rock. Let's take a look at this. So that looks good. You see the little circular symbology there, so these are in the right order and they form complete rings, which is what we want. And we just upload and we're done.